Good evening and welcome to the 33rd Annual Superintendent's Honors Night. Tonight, we celebrate our highest achieving graduates and the teachers who have inspired them. Please join me in welcoming members of our Board of Education who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now in his third year as Superintendent of the Dearborn Public Schools, let's give a warm welcome to Dr. Glenn Maleyko.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Superintendent Honors Night. Before we get started, I would like to just, since it is Honors Night and we had the passing of our last superintendent last week, he passed away, Mr. Brian Whiston. And so I'd like us just to observe a moment of silence in his honor. Thank you. So I do want to recognize a few individuals who are here tonight. We do have from the Board of Education, Vice President Mary Petlichkoff, Trustee, go ahead, yeah. Trustee Jim Thorpe, Trustee Celia Nasser, and Board President Dr. Mead. I also have a few dignitaries here, and if I miss anyone, I know Mr. Wall is going to let me know because people are coming and going. We have the city clerk here, Mr. Durrani, George Durrani. Thank you for your support. We also have Vice President Hurst from the college. Thank you for being here. We have some executive directors, and I'm just going to read their names from cabinet, and you can just hold your applause till the end. But we have Director Ruth Bankhead, Ms. Shannon Peterson, Dr. Mosallam, Mr. Asali, Mr. Wall. We have Mr. Mustonen, who's here, and Dr. Groover. I want to thank the parents for being here. It's very important to have parents here, and so I want to thank you. If we could all recognize the parents and family members who are here right now. So, students, what you doing? Where are you going? Two pretty common questions. We say them all the time. I'm sure most of you seniors have heard these questions quite a bit in the past several months. Usually, the question is more along the lines of what you doing after graduation, where are you going to school? For some of you, the plans are set. You know exactly where you're going and what you want to do. Good for you. Excellent. For others, the path may not be so clear. There may be more decisions in the future and choices to make. That's okay too. To those who have a plan, I say be careful. And to those who have yet to make those final decisions, I say don't worry. And here's the reason why I offer this simple advice. Let me introduce you to a graduate from a few years back. This handsome young man graduated just a few years ago. Yes, that's me, and I have no idea, and I'm hoping the picture's up there, why the guy behind me, it is? Okay. All right. That's me, and I have no idea why the guy behind me, Vince, appears to be wearing a tuxedo shirt and tie. Look at that proud graduate. Look at that smile. Look at that confidence. You see it? There's a young man who's walking to meet his destiny, so it seems. You see, my plan was to follow in my family's footsteps and pursue a career in law. That is where I was headed. The plan was all set. However, a funny thing happened as I walked that path. I began coaching hockey, a sport that I played and I loved all my life. What I found was that I enjoyed teaching the game of hockey, and I truly felt a sense of fulfillment in coaching and teaching. My path, that was so defined, took a turn that I didn't expect, but never regretted. Now I know, students, you are 17 and 18 and have life all figured out because, well, you're 17 and 18. And with that vast amount of life experience, you pretty much know everything, right? Don't misunderstand me. I'm very proud of all that you have accomplished, and I'm very confident that you will have much success in your future endeavors. The point I'm trying to make is that all of you have so much more to experience in the years ahead. Always keep an open mind to change in the opportunities you will have in your life. Although you have accomplished a great deal to this point, there's still much to learn. Each and every one of you has talents, skills, abilities, and interests that are yet to be discovered. Never stop developing those talents, those skills, because those undiscovered abilities and interests could lead you down a path that ends up making the biggest difference in your life or in the lives of those around you. Never lose sight of your own capacity to reflect, change, and continually grow. If you don't believe what I'm saying, just ask the person sitting next to you, the person you selected to be here tonight. I'm positive they could share with you an experience in their life when keeping an open mind, utilizing other talents, and taking part in new experiences has allowed them to grow and become an even better person, an even better teacher. The students here tonight were asked to select a teacher to bring to this event with the understanding that there are many different types of teachers. A coach is a teacher, a principal, counselor, or even a relative can be a teacher. Looking out at the crowd, knowing several of the teachers here tonight, and spending my time visiting many of your classrooms, I know the students have chosen extremely wisely. For those who have chosen to teach as a profession and dedicated themselves to being lifelong learners, I thank you for your commitment, your caring, your passion. Author Tom Raff said, "One's single greatest strength may be uncovering the hidden talents of another person." If this is true, then teachers are Herculean in their efforts. Universities teach the methods and techniques of teaching, but your style is as unique as you are. You have made a mark on the lives of your students, not just because you taught them something they didn't know, but you helped them expand their horizons and develop their hidden talents. You have mastered the skills needed to instruct students in a classroom, and more importantly, you have utilized your talents, skills, and abilities in order to help students learn, to help all children discover their hidden talents and interests. Thank you to our teachers, to our parents, and to all who have had a positive impact on the success of our students. This is truly an honor to be here, and I know how the teachers feel, having been a teacher, and so just enjoy the celebration and have a wonderful and safe end to the school year. Thank you, everyone.
Introducing students from Henry Ford Early College is Principal Majid Fadlala.
Good evening. Thank you. Our first student is Ms. Zahra Al-Khayyat. Come to this one. Come to this one. Come to this one. Come to this one.
Good afternoon. I'm Zahra, and today I would like to recognize my English and economics teacher, Mr. Sayiq. I would like to thank Mr. Sayiq for always giving us speeches and debates, and to the times he used to always pick on me in order to get me out of my comfort zone. Mr. Sayiq helped me overcome my fear of public speaking, and without him, I wouldn't be where I am today. Mr. Sayiq, thank you.
Mr. Muhammad Hamoud.
Hi, my name is Mohammed Hamoud, and I would like to pick Miss Stevens as the teacher that I chose for the superintendent's night. I would like to thank Miss Stevens for being a teacher who has encouraged and inspired and educated me to become someone who I'm proud to be. Miss Stevens, you gave me a positive and enriching high school experience, and I, as a student, would like to thank you for that.
Thank you.
While we're working on that technical issue, I just want to mention we have Commissioner Gary Wanchek who has arrived. Thank you for coming, Commissioner.
Dearborn High has always been home to the pioneers. Please welcome to the stage the principal of Dearborn High, Mr. Adam Martin.
Good evening, everyone. One thing you know as an educator, you got to be flexible. So, going to test that a little bit. All right. Would like to recognize the pioneers from Dearborn High School. First up, Amani Abulanain.
A large portion of my academic success is attributed to the support system that I have, and Miss Abudrabo has been a large part of that system. She has consistently encouraged me to be hardworking, dedicated, and to reach my full potential. Whenever I seek advice from her, she always has my best interests in mind, and I can never thank her fully for the help that she has given me. So, thank you for saying.
Nasim Abu Halawi.
I would like to thank Mr. Police for demonstrating to me not only how to write a perfect rhetorical analysis essay, but also how to be the man that is calm, collected, and well-rounded, the man that I aim to be. Thank you so much, Mr. Police.
Vivian Ashmar.
I would like to thank Mr. Saeed for being the best teacher and tennis coach I've ever had. He is the best teacher since he's taught us so much in how to be better people and how to have to make the best out of every class. Thank you, Mr. Police.
Kara Ajami.
The person I chose to speak on behalf of is Miss Fawaz, a counselor at my current place of education, Dearborn High. Ms. Foss has always been a valuable asset throughout my 4 years of high school. Whether I had an issue with a class or a classmate, she was always there to help. She was more than just a counselor, she was a role model, and I couldn't have asked for someone better to help guide me through these crazy 4 years we call high school. Thank you.
Amanda El-Aziz.
My first thought upon entering Mr. Eichen's class was, who does this guy think he is? After butting heads a few times, watching some odd yet memorable videos, and a considerable amount of puns, I learned just who he is. A man who teaches both AP Lit and how to enjoy life. Thank you, Mr. Eichens, for shaping the way I see the world.
Mohammed El-Hajam.
Miss Abajaba is probably one of the best teachers I've had throughout my whole school career. She didn't just teach me about science and biology and anatomy in general. She also taught me about life and how to get ready for college in the future. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to to tell you how great of a teacher Miss Abajaba is.
Hiba El-Hassan.
Tonight I would like to honor Miss Airgood, who was my American Sign Language teacher for 2 years. I initially took American Sign Language to be able to communicate with my deaf cousin, but as I sat in her class for 2 years, I learned to have a love for the language that I never knew I would have, and that stemmed from one thing, and that was Miss Airgood's passion. She has inspired me to become a more empathetic person, and hopefully one day to become an American Sign Language interpreter. So to you, Miss Airgood, I love you and appreciate you. Thank you.
Test 1, 2. All right, here we go. Back to the plan.
Matthew Apostle.
I would like to thank Mr. Maynard. He was my AP US history teacher my sophomore year, and he taught me a strong work ethic, and his passion for history helped to lead me towards my career, where I will attend Michigan State University to study political science and law. Thank you, Mr. Maynard.
Dua Balut.
Okay. Ms. Abudib has helped me become the person that I am today and will continue to be. She has taught me how to be courageous and has given me an opportunity to be a leader. She taught me to be confident and stand up for what I believe in. She told me that I have a say and can make a change whenever I put my mind to. There is a reason why she's chosen by multiple students to attend the Superintendent's Honors Night. She is a kind and selfless person. She cares about her students' education, and she makes sure everyone enjoys and learns in her class. She works with students to form strong relationships and does whatever she can to help them. Outside of being an awesome teacher, she is a wonderful human being, and I thank her for all that she does, and I hope she continues to inspire students the way she did to me. Thank you.
Adam Bazzi.
I think I can call Mr. Yoder my favorite teacher because I've never actually had him as a teacher. He was actually my advisor for a club called BPA, and like a lot of students coming into high school, I didn't really have meaning or purpose, and he's one of those people that helped me find that meaning and purpose. Without him, I don't think I could have gotten to the college of my dreams. Thank you, Mr. Yoder.
Laura Bazzi.
Today, I'd like to acknowledge my teacher, Miss Veskin. I had Miss Veskin in both my sophomore and junior years at Dearborn High School for algebra and physics. Ms. Veskin's love for the subjects she's taught inspired me and allowed me to gain a greater love for learning, and for that, I'm very thankful.
Thank you.
Laureen Bazzi.
Miss Hamoud was the best thing that probably happened to me senior year. She was the warm and welcoming smile that I walked in to see every morning, and I thank you for that.
Marwan Bazzi.
Hi everybody, I'm Marwan Bezi. I chose Dr. Kassim. It was only until this year in which I noticed that you don't have to quite have to be in a teacher's classroom in order for them to have some profound effect on you or your life lessons. Dr. Kassim has always been there for me. I never had her as a teacher, however, I still feel like she's really close to me as any other of my teachers, as she led me in many directions. Writing brought us together. She would give me many ideas, and she was always there for me to talk about any political or social issue I ever had. So for that, thank you so much, Dr. Kassim.
Madison Brodowski.
I'd like to honor my teacher, Mrs. Knaffer, because she's been my calculus teacher last year and this year for AP Calc BC, which has been very, very challenging, but I'd like to honor her because despite all the challenges, I still love math, which I think is a miracle on its own, so thank you very much.
William Bryan.
I'd like to thank Mr. Maynard for being an excellent educator and also one of my best friends.
Adam Shatilla.
Tonight I chose to honor Mr. Police because not only has he pushed me to my limits as a student, but he was also a friend and I could talk to him whenever I needed to. So thank you, Mr. Police.
Aya Shabib.
I just want to thank Mrs. Abudib, who I had the pleasure of having as a teacher for 3 years, for all that she's done. She's always encouraging me and others to learn more and work hard. I also want to thank her for the opportunity in being a bilingual student and her allowing her students to acquire the seal of biliteracy. Love you.
Marwa Dabaja.
I had the honor of having Mr. Brown as my chemistry teacher my junior year, and that was the actual first time I learned the periodic table in his class, which also means that he was awarded the Teacher of the Year award. Thank you.
Thank you. Graham Dallas.
I'm here to honor the man who, for all 4 years of my high school experience, has been there for me to support me through not only golf, but through life itself. He has been the nicest guy, and I would like to thank Mr. Barkoff for always being there for me and being such a great influence on me. Thank you, Mr. Barkoff.
Cassidy Durag.
From the time I was a freshman until last semester, Dr. Kassim's class was one that I was always excited to come to. You fostered an environment not only for learning about language, but learning how to use it in our ever-changing society. Thank you for sharing your judgment, your intelligence, and your passion for social justice and activism with us, and allowing me to see myself and those around me through a new lens.
Lana Diabis.
Miss Saad was my allied health teacher, and she motivated me to become a better person. She motivated me to become who I am today, and I'm very appreciative of her.
and I hope that our next year students are as bad as we were. Also to Mr. O'Day and Miss Dober, I'm sorry I didn't nominate you, but I still appreciate you guys.
Case de Koning.
Hi. I'd like to honor my fourth grade teacher, Miss Knaus. She instilled a love of reading and writing in me that has lasted until today and had a snowballing effect that eventually would lead me to being in a career in teaching English in high school. I started reading Harry Potter in her class, and I'm pretty sure I still own one of the copies. I took it from her library.
He doesn't realize he's going to have to pay for that before he gets his cap and gown. William Dobbs.
Ms. Dobbs taught me everything I know, from how to write an argumentative essay. So I just like to thank you. I know I will continue to learn from you for the rest of my life. I love you, Mom.
Naghem Idris.
In the 2 years that I've gotten to have Miss Beatty as my Spanish teacher, she's been one of the most supportive and encouraging individuals, and she has provided me with a love for learning Spanish and being bilingual, and for that I really appreciate her.
Olivia Grantham.
Hi, I'm honoring the Diane Phillips. Even though Coach Phillips has never been my teacher, she has strongly influenced my academic career. Before my sophomore year, I didn't know, or really care to know, how to excel in school. That's where Coach stepped in. She taught me how to, can't really read my own writing. She taught me how to have a strong work ethic on the court, which I translated into the classroom. Without realizing, she turned me, someone who couldn't care less about school, into a dedicated, passionate student. I literally wouldn't have been able to do it without you. I could not be more thankful to have a coach, teacher, and mentor all in one. Thank you for everything.
Scout Grimmel.
I want to thank Mrs. Ferris for teaching me that passion is the key to creating a lasting lesson. Every day of class spent with her, I learned not only the lesson she had planned for the day, but also that her drive for teaching could inspire a newfound gratitude for learning and growing.
Thank you, Ms. Ferris.
Marky Grigorowitz. Sorry, Marky.
It's okay, I'm used to it. Yeah, Miss Cassidy has been my art teacher in sophomore year and also this year, senior year, and she's been an awesome teacher. In art, you do need a little push, and she's the right amount of not too pushy, but also lets me do whatever I want, because different artists do different things differently. But, yeah, thank you.
Kasim Habhab.
I know Mr. Eikens was most worried about what I had to say, but I'm not here to thank Mr. Eikens as a teacher, but thank Mr. Eikens as a man, because Mr. Eikens instilled values about passion and caring for your career that no other teacher had on me. And Mr. Eikens is not only the best teacher I ever had, but one of the best men I've ever met, and he's someone that I like to emulate, and he's a role model for me that I could try to be like after I finish my career and go into my future. Thank you.
Ali Jesus.
Miss Polidori, I thank you for putting up with my nonsense as a young child and, of course, seeing the potential in me as a young child, the energetic child that used to give you a headache every day. I thank you.
Abir Hamer.
Hi.
I invite Dr. Kasim tonight because she has changed my life in a very positive way. She has taught me more than English. I would like to thank her so much.
Thank you.
Hassan Hamadi.
I'd like to thank Mr. Salone for not only putting up with me on a daily basis for the past 3 years, but for encouraging me to look at other fields other than medical in life, and he taught me a lot of valuable skills that I'll use for the rest of my life. Thank you, Mr. Salone.
Hannah Hamoud.
When I received the invitation in the mail, the first person I thought of was Mrs. Hanowitz. More often than not, the teachers we had when we were younger often go unnoticed, but they are the ones that shape us into the people that we are today. Even now, Mrs. Hanowitz continues to stay in touch and be there for me whenever need be. Not only is she a phenomenal teacher, but she is also someone I consider to be a friend. I say this with deep sincerity. Thank you.
Brandon Hestand.
While some teachers choose not to interact with students other than teaching the class material, Ms. Knaffer breaks this standard. She treats me with respect not only as a student, but also as a friend. Even though I may constantly question her math tests and accuse her of not putting a right answer, I can genuinely say I will miss her for the things she has taught me and the memories she has given me. Thank you, Ms. Knaffer.
Layla Jawad.
Mr. Darwish has been an amazing mentor and friend. His drive and genuine care for the well-being of his students has helped me get into the college of my dreams. His selfless commitment to the success of others is something that will affect me for the rest of my life. Thank you, Mr. Darwish.
Noradine Kamaluddin.
I stand here today because of Mr. Maynard. I will never forget all the current events you exposed me to and all the things you taught me, like how to always be critical and analyze everything, and also how to grow a beard. But joking aside, you truly shaped me up to what I am today, and I thank you for that. And also, I hope we become friends and keep in contact after graduation. Thank you.
Ahmed Kasir.
Having Mrs. O'Keefe as my AP chemistry teacher, my initial love for chemistry that was passed down by my father was nurtured to a new level of fascination. While it seemed like a simple AP class, Mrs. O'Keefe not only taught us chemistry, but inspired me with her love to explore the sciences and guide her students to push their academic limits. I can't thank her enough.
Grace Kolangowski.
Tonight, I would like to honor my language arts teacher, Dr. Kasim. Dr. Kasim has shaped me into who I am today as a writer, a learner, and a thinker. She has challenged me to always question ideas and look at situations in a different way. This has helped me in all aspects of my educational and personal life, and for this I thank her.
Maya Macklid.
I would like to thank Mrs. Ferris for the amount of hard work and commitment she has put in to teach me during the 2 years I've had her. She has encouraged me to believe in myself and set higher academic goals, and for that I appreciate her greatly.
Sophie Martin.
It is an honor for me to have brought Mr. Police with me tonight. As my former AP Lang teacher and current yearbook advisor, we have spent a lot of time in and out of class working on different projects, especially this year. He has always been supportive of my ideas, is always there when you need a question to be answered or you just need to talk. He is one of the few reasons I have looked forward to 6th Hour for the past 2 years, and it's been a pleasure having him as a teacher. Thank you.
Amar Mashur.
I just want to recognize Ms. Knaffer and thank her for supporting me and helping me grow so much as a person throughout the past 4 years. Thank you.
Celine Nasser.
I'd like to recognize Mr. Bennett. Mr. Bennett was my 8th grade United States history teacher. You've instilled a love and passion in me for history, and you're the reason why the Gettysburg Address has become forever ingrained in my mind. Thank you for sharing your stories, your knowledge, and for being the coolest teacher in all of Stout Middle School.
Madeline Neiman.
I'm pretty sure everyone's familiar with something called senioritis, and if you know me, I have it pretty badly. And I would like to thank Mr. Godzicki tonight for not only motivating me to get through this year that I really don't want to go through, and for reigniting my passion in reading and writing, which is something I love to do, and I finally found the love to do it again. So thank you for that.
Favia Nixon.
In choosing my teacher for this event, I can honestly say I had no hesitation in choosing Mrs. Parks. For the 3 years I had her, her class was my favorite. It was a class I actually enjoyed going to, which is saying a lot for high school and even more for DCMST. No, I'm just kidding. DCMST is great, but it's stressful, but it prepared me. And she's one of the people who prepared me, and I can honestly say that she's not only an amazing teacher, but an amazing person who I had the privilege of learning under.
Miriam Noureddin.
Good evening. I've been very lucky to have some of the many amazing teachers here tonight. One of them being Mrs. Beskin. Mrs. Beskin really supported me throughout my junior year and helped me get through that year. She also increased my interest in science and specifically physics. She truly cares about each and every student. Thank you, Ms. Beskin.
Dunya Nusif.
Tonight I will be honoring the legendary Lord Ikens. I'd like to apologize to Mr. Ikens for taking part in dragging him to this event. Mr. Ikens, you cannot teach me any more about self-awareness and reflection than I already know. But you allowed me to be appreciative of my awareness, my optimistic pessimism, and my inability to see the world as just A through Z. For that, I am forever grateful. And as you end your teaching career with the senior class of 2018, I bid you a farewell and a gentle good night. Thank you.
Danya Obeid.
Today, I have the honor of recognizing Mrs. Elder. Throughout my academic career, she has provided both inspiration, motivation, and advice for whenever I needed it. The words cannot describe how appreciative I am of you. Thank you, Mrs. Elder.
Ali Osman.
Good evening, everybody. I'm nominating Mr. Yoder today because not only is he a great teacher, but a great friend. Mr. Yoder has motivated me to explore new interests, and it's because of him I'm going to be studying business in the fall. He's never failed to offer help in every setting, inside and outside the classroom, and for that I'm forever thankful.
Muhammad Osman.
Good evening. I nominated Ms. Kubicek today because throughout 9th grade and 11th grade language arts, she helped me excel in reading, writing, and most importantly, my SAT score. Thank you, Ms. Kubicek.
Olivia Police.
I would like to honor Mr. Radcliffe. Not only is he an exceptional educator as he maintains a safe and controlled working environment every single day, but he's also very involved in our community. He's only been teaching here for 2 years, but he's already tutoring for NHS every single day. He taught computer applications when there was no lab built, and he he constantly motivates me every day to work very hard. This man is very good at his job, and I'm very grateful that I got to be in his classroom. Thank you.
Hannah Pfeiffer.
Hi, I'd like to honor Miss Knaffer tonight because through the past few years, I had her for math, and she's taught me to always keep pushing, even though when it's really hard. I had AP Calc BC. And so she's helped guide me through it, and I just want to thank her for being not only a friend, but guiding me through everything. Thank you.
Mohammed Rita.
I'd like to honor Mr. Yoder, who has been my personal finance and my business tech teacher, but moreover, a close and personal friend. You have inspired many students like me to become the best that they could possibly be, and without your motivation and belief in me, I wouldn't be here delivering this speech to you, and for that, I thank you.
Caleb Rice.
Good afternoon. Tonight I've decided to honor Mr. Kurt Doley. Now, despite being a shy and very awkward man, he still shows up to class every day. It's all right. No, in reality, what do you say about a man who has been there for you constantly over the past 3 years? Mr. Doley has truly been a great teacher, mentor, and a friend to me. If I or any of my peers in the WDHS film program ever make it big, Oscar, Emmy, etc., he is truly the man to blame for all of that. Thank you, Mr. Doley, for everything.
Natalie Rios.
Mr. Maynard has had a great impact in who I am as a student in my high school years. As my first AP teacher, his ability to help me learn encouraged me to continue to take AP classes. Along with this, his teaching helped me prosper in AP US History. Not only did his teaching help, but his guidance throughout my later years of high school helped me through difficult classes and difficult situations. He has been a great mentor and role model to me.
Lael Saad.
As a kindergartner, Mrs. Smith was more than just an educator to me. She was a caregiver and guided me to believing someday I will accomplish great things, and it is because of her that I'm standing on this stage right now. I would not be standing here if it were not for her, and I'd like to thank her for that. Thank you.
Benjamin Schondorf.
Hello, I would like to thank my 4th and 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Nelly. She helped me realize my potential and helped temper some of my incredible procrastinating skills.
Caroline Sakulidis.
Looking back now, I can see that taking Mr. Gordon's French class changed my life. I took the class initially to get a foreign language credit, and now I'm planning on getting a degree in French, and it's all because of Mr. Gordon's class. He's always strived to teach to the best of his ability and has always supported us, and I couldn't have asked for a better teacher.
Zara Shahiri. Heather Slanik.
I would like to recognize Mrs. Dirth, who was my teacher for 4th and 5th grade. In the 2 years that she had me, she always supplied me with rigorous coursework, and she helped to get me out of my shell, and I'm a little bit more outgoing now. Yeah, for this I'd like to thank her.
Abby Stewart.
The guest I have brought with me tonight is Mr. Forrester, my 10th grade U.S. history teacher. Not only has his classes helped me answer a few more Jeopardy questions at night correctly in U.S. history categories, but they were also an environment where I was excited to learn history, a subject that I used to not quite like so much. And I will always remember our discussions about Hamilton the musical and all of that. So thank you, Mr. Forster.
Grace Torrance.
Mr. Aikens is the rare type of teacher that instantly becomes a friend and a mentor to all of his students. Although I could be what you lovingly called challenging, I've never had a teacher treat me as more of an equal, and for that I'm so grateful. Thank you for the laughs and the lessons I'll take with me throughout my life. I hope you have an amazing retirement.
Alexandra Turfey.
So I'd just like to say one thing.
You're good.
This is the last student who's ever going to honor me because I'll be retiring. And but I wanted to say that teaching in the Dearborn schools is one of the greatest blessings of my life. And I appreciate everything.
Alexandra Turfey.
From being completely illiterate in Arabic 3 years ago to finally gaining my seal of biliteracy this year, Ms. Abudif has always taken the time not only to ensure that I mastered the subject matter of her class, but to help me gain the confidence to make Arabic a part of my everyday life. So thank you for that, Ms. Abudif. I appreciate you.
Joseph Winzinski.
I would like to thank my AP Calc teacher, Ms. Springer-Wilson, for everything she's taught me in life, as well as all the letters of recommendation she was willing to write for me for college. Thank you and good luck at Ann Arbor next year.
Juliana Wozniak.
The decision of what teacher to bring up here tonight was a very difficult one for me. I've been lucky enough to have such amazing teachers, and so that being said, I would also like to acknowledge and thank Mr. Atkins, Ms. Kubicek, and Mr. Police. So ultimately, I decided to honor Dr. Kassem. Starting high school was a big challenge for me, and I lacked the motivation to do well, but Dr. Kassem saw my potential from early on. No, not my potential to get straight A's, but my potential to truly succeed. She instituted the discipline that I needed to continue when times got tough. And even 4 years later, I still consider her my role model. So thank you very much.
Ali Yassin.
I'm here to recognize my 9th grade language arts teacher, Ms. Kassem. I wanted to thank her for believing in me after years of having teachers who didn't, and I still look back at the discussions we had in that class because in that class we didn't just learn English, we learned to think about the world and really understand ourselves. Thank you.
Just wanted to mention, as we switch to Fortson, we have Dr. Jill Chokol, Executive Director here. We'll ask her to come up with Fortson. And we have Ms. Mesa Ali Bazzi, Executive Director here as well, and we'd ask her to come up for Fortson. Thank you.